Shortcut keys are an incredibly important aspect of increasing your workflow in Photoshop, but in this video I can't possibly go over every single shortcut key that there is, because let's face it, there are hundreds of base shortcuts and there are probably thousands of sub-shortcuts. But in this video I'm going to show you where to find shortcut keys, how to customize them, and I'm going to show you some of the most important shortcut keys to help you on your day-to-day activities. So let's begin by showing you where you can find shortcut keys. Now if we head up to the top to our menu, you'll notice on the right hand side we have a symbol and a letter. And in some cases we have multiple symbols and a letter. These are our shortcut keys. And in some cases you'll notice that there's nothing beside a function. In a few minutes I'll show you how to customize that to assign your own shortcut keys. Now if you're on a PC, the shortcut keys will look a little bit different, but they're pretty much interchangeable. To create a new document, you're going to hold down the Command key on a Mac and press N. Whenever you see a Command key in one of these videos, it means the Control key on a PC. This symbol here is the Option key on a Mac. On a PC, it's Alt, so it's pretty much interchangeable. So go ahead and browse through the menus and take note of some of the functions that you use most often. Memorize those shortcut keys and use them in your day-to-day activities. They'll definitely help increase the speed of your workflow. So that's one place you can find shortcut keys. Another place we can go to find our shortcut keys is in our Tools bar. You'll notice if we hover over the tools, the name of the tool appears, and in brackets we have the shortcut key. So if we want to very quickly jump to our eraser tool, we would press the letter E on the keyboard. But what if some of the tools have additional tools under the same shortcut key? Well, very simply, hold down your Shift key and press the shortcut key, which will cycle through the tools under that flyout menu. So if we wanted to choose a different lasso tool instead of the standard lasso tool, we would hold down our Shift key and press the letter L until we get our desired lasso tool. So that's another way we can find shortcut keys. Now I mentioned before that some functions in Photoshop don't have shortcut keys assigned to them. Well, very simply we can assign shortcut keys to pretty much anything we want. So let's say you're a user who frequently uses the brightness and contrast feature in Photoshop to edit your photos. Unfortunately, by default, there's no shortcut key assigned to the brightness and contrast feature. But fortunately, we can assign a shortcut key to make it a lot easier to access that dialog box. This is how we would do it. We would go up to the Edit menu, and all the way at the bottom we would click on Keyboard Shortcuts. And here's our Keyboard Shortcuts dialog box. We need to go ahead and find the brightness and contrast function. So we're going to go to the Image flyout menu and we're going to go down until we find brightness and contrast. And here we can assign a custom shortcut key for brightness and contrast. The problem is most shortcut keys are already taken, so you may have to assign something that doesn't really make sense for brightness and contrast, or you may have to override an existing shortcut key. So if we go ahead and press Command, Shift, and then B, it will notify us that Image Auto Color has already taken the Command Shift B shortcut key. You can go ahead and accept that and replace Auto Color, or undo the changes until you find a shortcut key that is not taken already. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and accept and then click OK, and every time I press Command Shift B, up comes my brightness and contrast dialog box. So this will definitely help increase my workflow if I am a user who likes to use the brightness and contrast feature in Photoshop a lot. Now that you know where to find shortcut keys and how to customize them, and hopefully you've started to memorize a few of them, I'm going to show you some of the more important Photoshop shortcut keys, starting with the Undo command. If we head up to the top and click on Edit, you'll notice that Undo is Command or Control on a PC and the letter Z. But if we use that command once and we try and use it again to keep undoing our steps, it just repeats itself. It changes to redo. So we have to use the step backward command to continuously undo our steps, which in this case on a Mac is Option Command Z, on a PC it's Alt Control Z. And to step forward it's Shift Command Z or Shift Control Z. So that's the undo state change command. Another popular set of shortcut keys are the zoom shortcut keys. Very simply, pressing the Z key in our keyboard will bring up our magnifying glass, allowing us to click to zoom in. And to zoom out, if we hold down our Option or Alt key, we can very simply do that too. But what if we're on a different tool other than our zoom tool and we want very quick access to our zoom features? Very simply, hold down your Command key or Control key on a PC and your spacebar key to access the zoom in tool. And along with that, hold down your Option or Alt key to access the Zoom Out tool. Very simple. Now while you're zoomed in, if you're just holding down your spacebar key, you have your hand tool. And if you let go, you go right back to the tool you had before. So for very quick access to the hand tool to pan around your image, just hold down your spacebar key. Another very useful shortcut key. Now there may be times when you're very close to your image and you'd like to very quickly zoom your image back out to fit the screen. Well, very simply on a Mac, hold down Command, on a PC, hold down Control, and press the number 0. That will zoom your image back out to fit your screen so you can see the whole entire image right in your Photoshop workspace. Another set of pretty common shortcut keys are the shortcut keys which allow you to increase and decrease your brush sizes. Let's go ahead and access our brush tool by pressing the B key on our keyboard. And very simply, if you press your square bracket keys, which are usually located near the return button, it will allow you to increase or decrease your brush sizes. The right square bracket key will allow you to increase, and the left square bracket key will allow you to decrease. Additionally, if you hold down your Shift key and press these keys, you can increase or decrease the brush softness and hardness. And finally, before I end this video, I want to discuss one last set of shortcut keys, and those are the opacity shortcut keys. If I want to increase or decrease the opacity of a layer, all I have to do is be on my Move tool and press my number keys. Pressing the number 1 will decrease it to 10%, pressing the number 0 will increase it to 100%, and anything in between. So if I want to decrease this layer's opacity to 50%, I simply press the number 5 on my keyboard. Now this also works for brushes. If I head over to my brush tool once again, you'll notice at the top, if I press the number 5 on my keyboard, my brush opacity decreases to 50%. If I press the number 0, it increases to 100%. Additionally, if I hold down my Shift key and press the numbers, I can increase or decrease either the flow or the fill. So if I'm on my brush tool, hold down my Shift key and press the number 3, my flow will decrease to 30%. Back on my Move tool, if we go over to our Layers palette, if I hold down Shift and press the number 5, the fill opacity will decrease to 50%. So these are a few very helpful shortcut keys in Photoshop which will definitely help with your workflow on a day-to-day basis. Definitely look through your menus and take note of the shortcut keys to the right of the functions that you use on a day-to-day basis. Make sure to go to Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts at the bottom to customize your shortcut keys to your liking, and stay tuned for the next video.